Welcome back to a reaction video where today we are reaction to Pokemon Go just got exposed by Mori, and we're just gonna jump straight. My magnet's gone missing from my microphone. But anywho, we're just gonna jump straight into this, boys. Let me check. My magnet's gone missing. But anywho, we're just going straight to this.
Just got exposed. Someone said this is wild. 143 million people thought they were catching Pokemon. But turns out they were actually building one of the largest real-world visual data sets in AI history. And then posted by News Force on Twitter, they say Pokemon Go players trained 30 billion image AI maps. Niantic says photos and scans collected through Pokemon Go and its AR, which I think means augmented reality apps, have produced a massive data set of more than 30 billion.
So the whole time I thought I was catching a fucking Rayquaza. I'm just putting up a random Pokemon. The whole time I was thinking I was catching a Rayquaza, you were just catching my location. Alright, Pokemon. Alright, Niantics. I see your antics. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Are you gonna say bless you to me? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Thank you. That's what I thought.
Real world images, and ladies and gents, I just gotta say, who do you
That
think
is
is
heavy.
going to be suffering the consequences from that? Who do you think is going to be profiting from that? They say the company is now using that data set to power visual navigation for delivery robots, letting them identify exact locations on city streets without relying on GPS. And here's a reporter talking about that. This is bad.
Okay, so it turns out the Pokemon Go era wasn't a collective mental breakdown. It was an unpaid internship. Every single person.
The whole time I was thinking I was collecting Pikachus, bro. You were collecting my data. I'm so surprised, bro. I play Pokemon Go religiously.
At midnight, walked into a lamppost or stood in the rain outside the Walgreens for 20 minutes. Trying to catch a Snorlax was actually doing data entry for the
What a bro.
economy.
That is crazy. So it turns out the players were basically like, you know how Google Maps have their designated drivers to drive all over the world to map out their Google Maps system? Basically, people who play Pokemon Go, they were like individual people doing that on a much larger scale. And guess what? They were doing it for free.
No V2, no benefits, not even a thank you email. Niantic Spatial, the AI spun out from the company that invented the reason your uncle fell into a fountain in 2016, just revealed it has been sitting over 30 billion crowdsourced urban images this whole time.
What the fuck? 30 billion crowdsourced images.
Oh my
I'm assuming
God.
video as well, of which these people are going to probably profit hundreds of billions of dollars from without paying any of their users, bro. And to this day,
I want my payment for searching the globe to try to get a shiny Snorlax.
You'll see large groups of people, crowds of people, in fact, like 30 at one time, because I live here in Atlanta, all walking together, doing this whole Pokemon Go thing, looking down at their phones like bots, and trying to catch these rare Pokemons. I mean, shit, if you're gonna be doing that, you might as well be getting paid. It's actually like doing DoorDash, delivering and catching people's foods without getting...
Photo, every IR snapshot, every I need to physically walk to this location moment has been quietly stacking up into the most detailed street-level data set on the planet.
Oh boy, the surveillance state is here. I mean, it's been here for 20 years, but we are actually living in 1984 now.
You're lying.
The set is now training
George Orwell, by the way.
a spatial AI that can look at a random street corner and know exactly what it is within a few centimeters. Your parasocial relationship with a fictional electronic mouse accidentally built the navigation system of the future.
I mean, it's kind of like those back in the day, the captchas we all used to do. They're still present, but not as like prevalent anymore. They're mostly used as a...
Pikachu! Why? Pikachu! Damn it, Pikachu! That's all that's gonna go through my head right now. Damn it, Pikachu! Why?
defensive mechanism, I believe, against DDoS attacks, and just to prove that you're not a bot. But even those images back in the day, I believe, were used to train particular AI data sets and models.
Slay. First beneficiary, Pizza Robots, 90 partnership with the Coco Robotics to put over 1,000 little delivery bots on the sidewalk of LA, Miami, and Helsinki. These bots have abandoned GPS entirely. Reasonable, given that
Can we
GPS
just
inside
take a
the
minute
desk.
to say, why is Pikachu flying? Unless I'd be missing out on some new Pokemon lore, but why is Pikachu flying? And also, is that my nigga Squirtle? What they do to my boy Squirtle? Is that Squirtle? That's the only turtle I know from Pokemon. Is that Squirtle? That's East Street Market. That's some dollar store. What's his voice called again? Jigglypuff. Dollar store big Jigglypuff. That's a flying type Pikachu, and that's. I don't even have anything for Squirtle. And that's fucking back market. That's back market Squirtle right there. But anywho, moving swiftly on.
Full of tall buildings is basically a suggestion.
Wow, so this news reporter basically just said she does have an accent. She's from Brussels in the EU. She said, this has gotten so advanced. With the amount of images collected, the billions and billions, 30 billion or more images, and that the data sets are so good that these robots no longer need official GPS coordinates anymore from satellites to operate. They no longer need to work on things from like a Google map.
Well, they just go, alright, cool, let's move and just go.
I don't believe, or an Apple Maps. They can now use the images and or videos collected from Pokemon Go users over the years to know exactly where they are, the layout, the terrain, objects, and obstacles, and can solely rely on that to
Pikachu literally just slammed me out.
city limits. Now, if people don't realize the logical conclusion of that, and how that'll end in abetting the robot wars to come in the future, our descendants, our great-great-grandchildren will be out here like...
But we might have Mewtwo as a... We might have Robot Mewtwo, bro. Let me see.
in a great desolate world fighting tyrannical rogue robots trying to destroy humanity based off of the actions of the people living today. And now people are saying, damn, they made everyone work for free. Another person said the largest robotics perception data set in history was built by people who just wanted to catch Charizard. I find this both brilliant and deeply humbling. No lab budget could have replicated that coverage. Oh yeah. Another person said, I feel used. Another person said, it was pretty obvious from the jump the purpose of the game was data collection. Another person said, imagine how much cooler that app would have been if this wasn't the end goal. Cole said, while you were catching Pokemon, Niantic was catching 30 billion photos of every sidewalk on Earth. And now they're selling it to delivery companies. That'll make them billions and billions of dollars. Another person said, and not $1 of this data was given to users. Pokemon Go users should have been getting paid for this data set. And I kind of agree, bro. Like, it would have been so cool for, like, every street.
Bro, if I packed the shiny Mewtwo, bro, and they gave me £10, bro, hey, bro, I might have to just go back to, I might have to do a whole loop around every 15 minutes just to get a new Pokemon just to come back. Hey, bro, I'll be rich.
Or sidewalk or road that was mapped by particular users, at least like maybe a 1%, 2% dividend was handed out, maybe. But no, I guess Pokemon Go fans just said, hey, we don't need all that, man. We don't need to be complicated. We just want to catch pixels and digital Pokemon out in the real world that you can't even touch. That's not even tangible. At least with like actual cards, you can physically interact with them. With this, it's just like ones and zeros data sets. Another person said, this is why I never once used the, and I quote, scan Pokestop for in-game rewards feature or caught anything using AR mode, augmented reality. Do any of you have common sense? Well, to be fair, I just want to say most of the population, they take everything at face value and don't understand that these tech companies are not going to be handing out technology for free. Again, cliche, generic, but once again, I have to say it. If you
Pikachu, why?
paying for the product, then you are the product. They're selling your data, they're selling your information, they're selling your biometrics. And this really works for anything in this world. The concept of free, it doesn't even exist. Nothing in this world even exists in terms of free. Everything is energy exchange. Literally nothing in the material universe is free. Not even the energy which is now known as Hawking radiation from black holes. It actually does subtly but very slowly impact the environment around it. And because of that, black holes actually die out over, I think, like trillions of years or some shit. Someone else said, so no one thought anything when Saudi Arabia's public investment fund bought
You're
Niantic.
lying.
You thought they loved video games. However, based off of what I'm seeing here, I asked Brock. They said no, this is not true. Niantic remains an independent, privately held, US-based company headquartered in San Fran. So this guy, I'm not sure where he got his info from. Another person said, no, Pokemon Go made it very clear in the app when you were, and I quote, scanning a location, players were informed your tweet is misleading, and it has the screenshot of a section in Pokemon Go that says collect AR data. If you spin the photo disc, you can get an AR mapping desk and help collect AR mapping data for this location. You can also scan this Pokestop anytime from the Pokestop's detail screens. Well, once again, a lot of people are not going to understand what that fully means. They're not going to understand that help collect AR mapping data, which probably is listed in their terms of service or about section on their website, means that they're going to be using this data to use as an addition to their existing data sets. As someone pointed out, a commenter said,
got me there.
Reads these, unfortunately. This is like citing TOS. And yeah, I just gotta say, 98% of us, I'm pretty sure, don't read TOS, and if we do,
pretty sure.
Not reading the entire, like TOS, what is that, like dozens and dozens of pages, sometimes even hundreds for certain websites. Like, although technically you can take the liberty of reading all of those words yourself, most people are not going to be doing that just to use a social media platform. Another person said, do the players get a percentage of the value they created? And then another person, Gregory, said, their payment was the video game they got to play in exchange. Yep, that's pretty much how that works for literally any social media platform that's free. Although I will say, I just found this from this guy by the name of Lunduk Journal, who says Pokemon Go, the surveillance game financed by the CIA, now owned by Saudi Arabia. Pokemon Go has been 3D mapping your homes for years, and it is owned by the wife-beating, Jeff Bezos hacking, journalist murdering Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia.
Pokemon Go, the surveillance game that's been around for years, originally financed by the CIA, is now owned by Saudi Arabia. This is a real thing that's happening, and it's absolutely insane, and really ranks high up there in the Lunduk told you so category. A little bit of backstory on this. I've been reporting on this for years, the issues with Pokemon Go. Essentially, Pokemon Go is the world's perfect surveillance tool. If you would think about it, if you were the CIA or the NSA, and you wanted people to spy on themselves and their friends for you, and you knew that everyone had smartphones, what would you want them to do? Would you want them to take other smartphones, hold it in front of them, so that the cameras on the front and the back of the phones could see everything that's going on? You'd want to tag where they're located. You'd want to control the people's movements, which the game does, and record little bits of that and send it all back up to the servers, to the cloud, right? That would be the ultimate spying tool. It would be amazing. That's exactly what happened.
I'm in shock. I'm in shock. I don't know what to say. But hey, that was the video, boys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you found out something, because I just found out something today. But hey, like, subscribe, put a mouse emoji if you made it to the end of this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.